All right, this set of exemplars comes from the grade 9 curriculum. It's solving equations with variables on one side of the equation. A level 2 would be a student can solve up to 3-step equations that do not contain fractions or variables in the denominator. A level 3 is they can consistently solve all types of equations with a variable on one side, and a level 4 is they can solve situational, they can verify their work is accurate. The way that this exemplar is set up, the first row would be your level 2 type of questions. The second row is your level 3, and then your level 4 is 4A, 4C, and 4D. In this question here, or in this exemplar, the student and the level 2 work. They have made some minor mistakes along the way with integers. When they distributed the 1.6 times the negative 3, they have an incorrect sign, but the process in that question is correct. In the last one here, they showed to multiply by 3.5, and where they made their error was in this part here, the multiplication. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying they have a basic process. They know the steps that need to follow. They made some integer problems. I would likely give them credit for a level 2. They are unable to solve the level 3 questions. They were able to interpret the situation and then solve the question. They were unable to verify or answer the application part. I would give the student here a level 2. Some of you might wonder why I would not give a 2.5 when they have interpreted here. My reasoning would be is that that's a small part when you look at they didn't get any of the level 3 and they didn't do the other parts of the level 4. So I would give a 2 and encourage them to come back and reassess and move forward. In this question or exemplar here, the student has all the level 2, they have all the level 3, they interpreted the level 4. They did make a mistake in solving here. However, if we are looking at consistency, they were consistent in the previous questions. They're verifying, they knew how to verify, they were unsuccessful with it because their answer was incorrect. I would give the student a 3.5. In this exemplar here, the student has done 3 of the 4 level 2s, they've done both of the level 3s, and they've done all of the level 4s. So I'm going to go and I'm going to look at what happened in this question here. And again, it was right off the bat in this aspect. I'm not sure why they moved the 3.5 up there. If that was the only fraction question on the test, then I may not be able to give them credit for it. However, they were able to solve fractions here, they were able to solve fractions there, so I'm looking at it as an accuracy issue, and I would give a 3.5. In this exemplar, the student really hasn't shown very much understanding. They were able to solve one equation. They were able to interpret and solve this equation here. Neither of those equations contained brackets or fractions, so I'm making the assumption that they can only do a very basic type. I would give a level 1. In this exemplar, we have all the level 2 questions correct, none of the level 3, but all of the level 4. I would give this student a 2.5. They have the level 2, they have parts of the 3 and or 4. In this case, they have all of the 4, which is why I would give a 2.5.
Okay, on this exemplar, I would give this student a 1. If you look at the level 2 questions, they can do, so they got this one right. They follow the correct steps. This first one, they just lucked out. They didn't do the correct step in the first step of the equation. E and C are wrong. They couldn't do any of the level 3s. And then in the level 4 question, I mean, they got the right, they interpreted it, but it's almost like they lucked out in that one as well. So I would give this kid a 1. In this exemplar, I would give this kid a 2. On their level 2 questions, they got most of them right. In this one here, they just did one mistake with the distribution of 2 times 6.5. They just multiplied wrong, which caused an error in their answer. So they understand the process. This kid would get a 2. This student would get a level 3. They've done all the level 2s right. They've done all the level 3s right. And then at the application question, they had to use the checkpoint, which means they couldn't actually come up with the equation themselves, but they were able to solve it. So they would get a level 3. I would give this student a 1. They have solved one equation correctly. They did some kind of correct steps in the following questions, but they didn't come up with the correct answers. So this student would get a 1. In this exemplar here, they didn't actually get anything correct. They would get a 0.5. It's not a 0 because they have some idea of what they're supposed to do. Dividing here to get rid of the coefficient in front of the variable, but just not in the correct order. So this kid is a 0.5.